How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to Minecraft Dinosaurs. Today, we're going to do something that's Ice Age related because at the time of uploading, Prehistoric Planet Ice Age will be coming out. Why do I have Spinosaurus? Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, I actually, this is my second attempt at recording, but I was having some audio issues, hence the death over here. I decided to stop the recording at my death. So this is what we're doing. You'll notice that I have a Megalania egg. The initial plan was to actually go and make a Megalania enclosure, obviously in the Cenozoic area, given the fact that Megalania is a Cenozoic critter. And I planned it out a little bit. I planned out where we could put it, and I planned out how I want to make this enclosure. The place in which the giant Varanid is going to exist will be right here, I think. I'm thinking. I think it's a good spot to go. I was thinking we can clear. I was thinking that we could clear all. Oh, there's two of them. I was thinking we could clear most of this stuff out, and then we would build a building. The Megalania will be indoors. It'll have an indoor enclosure. That way, it seems like we're kind of simulating its environment and the temperature that it probably should be existing at. We're trying to make things make sense, you know, so I think that's what we're going to do. Also, I showed this off last time, but obviously that recording doesn't exist anymore. I made this off camera. This, as you'll see in 2 seconds, connects to the Paleozoic section. See? You can hear some Meganeura flying around. Yeah, no, I started digging from this point on just because I had an idea. I figured that I figured that around here is where the Cenozoic area was. So I thought if I kind of, dug a staircase up, I wonder if I could link up with it. And it linked up to a pretty good spot overall. I want to make most of these areas like relatively accessible. Like, when you're at one part of the park, it's easier to get to another part of the park, that sort of thing. But anyway, let's just go ahead and start working on this Branus priscus enclosure. I need shovels is what I need. Okay, so I was thinking that I was going to destroy most of this hill and really just flatten it all out and then try to utilize as much of the space as I can. I want it to be a fairly big enclosure. Megalania was a big lizard, so it would make sense to give it a good amount of space. So I want most of this to be like an actual genuine building. So a building with an enclosure inside of it. We can also have a balcony out here. It can be a building that has a balcony attached to it. So you can, you take a look at the Megalania and then you go outside to go and take a look at the amazing scenery of this amazing park. Look at the Spinosaurus skeleton in the distance, stuff like that. So I guess what we'll do, we'll have it like this, right? And then, how big do I want this building? I want it to be fairly decent size. I guess from about here and in like this. I can also, I'm going to dig into the mountain for the majority of the Megalania's enclosure. Kind of like that, right? And then the enclosure, there's going to be you'll have a walkway around the enclosure. That makes sense. So there'll be 2 wide, I think. So we can go down here like this. Then this will be kind of the base for the glass. Like that. Kind of. So yeah, you'll have a walkway around here. There'll be a lot of glass so you can look into the Megalania's enclosure. There'll be a door to get into the building. Oh, geez, look at this Smilodon. I thought it was walking on the wall for a second. I was like, geez. There's actually 4 of them now. I can't remember if I established that in the video that doesn't exist anymore, but there's 4 of them. I don't think I turned off breeding quick enough because they managed to reproduce. Or actually, there might be 5 now that I think about it. There's 1. Where's the rest of you? 2, 3, 4. There's at the very least 4. Yeah, I think we just have 4. We certainly have a pack. We have a pack of Smilodons. I'll tell you that. Anyway, we need to get back to big lizards. So yeah, and then another wall over here leading into, oh, that's 1 wide. Oops. Okay, I see what I did wrong though. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay. And this is the only portion of the Megalania enclosure that you can actually, like, you'll be able to view it. Back here a little bit is going to be the rest of its enclosure. Like, you get somewhat limited viewing. I've seen a lot of Komodo dragon exhibits that do something similar to this, where it's like there's only one portion where you're able to actually view the lizard, and then the rest is kind of like, places where it can go off to just hang out on its own. Okay, that should be a decent amount of space, and the rule of thumb always applies. I can always apply more space if I need to, but I have a lot of connecting glass. We're gonna start placing some of that around here so we can get a really good idea of what this is going to look like. Of course, I'll leave a little space open so I can walk in and out until I install a door. Put this up here so that they get access to sunlight, some natural sunlight. They can't potentially climb out, or people can't potentially climb in. Those daring folks. I'd like to give it a pool as well. I've seen a lot of Komodo dragons that have some sort of pool or just some sort of water in their enclosure. I'm not going to fill it with water quite yet because I want it to be old enough, but I want to plan out where it's supposed to go. We're going to use sand to do that. And we just need to place in some dirt, and then I'll put in like a rock or something for it to chill out on. And it'll have a rock that can hang out with. Now, obviously, we can't forget some vegetation, kind of make it look a little bit nice in here. It's really kind of cozy in here. It's got a few places for it to climb around and whatnot. It can just kind of hang out in this nice little temperature-controlled indoor portion of the enclosure. It could come out here and, sort of sunbathe. Be pretty nice. Now, as far as the rest of this goes, we're going to have to get working on that. I don't want to place it in here until the whole thing is done. Maybe I can also put down some moss in here, just to give it like a different texture. I did find a lot of moss in my last attempt at recording. If you're wondering where that came from, just give it like a different coloration once the grass eventually grows into here. I had some of that like moss carpet, but I think it's in a chest down there, so I'll have to get that here pretty soon. Not really quite the environment that Megalania lived in, but really not that bad. Yeah, at the very least, it's kind of pleasing for the eye. And this is what this is going to look like. Obviously, this is the balcony. We're just going to have it extend out from the building like this. And then I'm going to have, I'm going to have some supports for it going all the way down here. Then all I have to do is put in a railing for safety. I should probably just get rid of that. All right. I'm going to sleep. Is this rain? It's bugging me. There we go. This is pretty nice. Every feels like every episode we get like a brand new way to view the whole valley thing, river, canyon thing. But yeah, this is the Megalania house right here. I just realized I need to make sure I have a way to get in there as a zookeeper. So I think the best way of doing that is to like just build a door over here. And all we need is a door. And so we officially have a Megalania enclosure. Place down the Megalania. You know what that means, Homer? And place that down. Place that down. I like placing it. Oh, right. Gotta close up. I would do that. Okay. Yeah, no, I think it could use a little bit more work. But this is mostly for celebration of the release of Prehistoric Planet this week. There will be an episode that seems to be taking place, or well, the majority of the episode might be taking place in Pleistocene, Australia, which is exactly where Megalania lived. And we know that we're going to see Megalania. It showed up in the trailer, and we got an image of it, kind of like separate from the trailer. So it's certainly making an appearance. And again, this environment that I have set up in its enclosure is not really one-to-one to the environment the Megalania lived in. But again, it looks kind of purty. So it's always cool to have some purty enclosures. It's only going to be a little baby when it's born. Dang it, I don't have my Dinopedia. I just realized my Dinopedia is back at the base. I could probably work on this mountain a little bit more too in the future. Not right now. I am on a limited schedule right now. But yeah, here pretty soon I could probably do something like that. Here it comes, everybody. You ready? This is a venomous lizard. Well, potentially venomous. Most likely venomous lizard. Moose. Oh, I love the colors. I'd never even considered what a baby Megalania would look like. That makes sense, honestly. That's very similar to what modern day Komodo dragons look like as babies. They have these really cool patterns and a really cool coloration, and they change quite significantly when they become adults. Obviously, the Megalania is very closely related to the Komodo dragon, otherwise known as Varanus komodoensis. They both belong to the same genus and the same family. Like, there's a reason why Megalania is often portrayed as like a giant Komodo dragon, which are already giant lizards. So that's already an insane thing to think about. This is so cool. This is so cool. I love it. I love it. All right, sweet. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. I always love seeing the different areas of the park expand a little bit. I'm excited to see what we can do in the future with this portion of the park. Also, just some really decent viewing. Like, you have like a lot of space to be able to see it. I mean, when it gets big enough, you're definitely not going to be able to miss it. Once it gets big enough, I'm sure we'll have to expand the enclosure. But for now, that's a good space for it. All right, so I don't really have anything else planned for today. We can take a look at some of our Cenozoic creatures, get ourselves hyped up for Prehistoric Planet Ice Age. We will be seeing these guys in Prehistoric Planet Ice Age. Smilodon will be making an appearance, and I believe there's going to be multiple species, Populator and Fatalis. I know for a fact we're going to be seeing Populator. In fact, they released a clip of Populator. We will also, let's go and check them out, be seeing our beloved mammoths. Mammoths will be making an appearance in the documentary as well. So will Elasmotherium, which I'm so excited about. Megaloceros will also be making an appearance. As I mentioned before, Megalania will be making an appearance. And yeah, I don't think we have anything else that will be showing up. There will be a terror bird in it, but it will be one of the, like, the later and smaller species. It won't be our forest raucous that we have over there. How are you guys doing? How are the animals of the mammoth steppe holding up? You guys, yeah, whatever. You guys doing all right? You guys like your environment? You're getting big. Yeah, they're getting bigger. That's cool. Where's all my mammoths? Oh, they're going into the tree line. Oh, Elasmotherium likes it out here. Hello. I like how they're all kind of sticking together. That's what I had hoped would happen. I had hoped that, like, most of these species would kind of like stick together. Like, you'd have a herd of mammoths with, some cool animals like the giant rhino Elasmotherium in the background, and some awesome deer like Megaloceros back there. Hummingbird. Gosh, you were so close to my base. Why don't you just go over there? This is awesome, though. We also have some modern day animals here too. There should be a horse somewhere. Where'd my horse go? I tamed a horse and put it in here. Where is it? Do they just despawn if you don't have a saddle on them? Oh, no, there it is. Yep, just pretend it's an Ice Age horse because they lived in the same environment. Now all I really need is some bison. If I can get some bison, which are in the Alex's Mobs mod, that would be perfect. Yeah, but I don't think any of them has spawned close enough, unfortunately. But we're going to call the episode good here. This is Ice Age week. That's what I'm calling it. We're going to be uploading a lot of Ice Age themed content, or Cenozoic themed content in general, not just the Ice Age. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. When Prehistoric Planet Ice Age does come out, I will be covering each episode as it releases. If you can't tell, I'm very, very excited for the series. I think I'm more excited for this series than I was for the first 2 seasons of Prehistoric Planet. I'm that hyped. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. And until next time, have an awesome day.